Welcome back to the weekly news roundup. This is the business and the SillyVille editions. These are recorded live Fridays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time if you would like to catch the show live. Well, today we are going to start in talking about new SEC proposal rules. So if you are unaware, the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, is a United States organization responsible for securing the viability of businesses that are traded on the stock market. And there's a lot of requirements, what you need to do, basically you have to tell us, who works here, what do you basically do, what's your basic plans, basically a bunch of things that people can read through these giant massive reports and decide would they like to invest in your company. Well, now they are proposing rules to enhance and standardize climate-related disclosures for investors. And so you need to now make sure that if you're having your business proposal, you need to make sure to tell them how many greenhouse gases you're emitting and what's your electricity usage like and how much of that is coming from green sources and a bunch of other nonsense that's not going to mean anything down the road because FYI, you morons in government, our country still requires these fossil fuels. Sure, it's good when we can move on to other things, but until everyone in the world is metering their internet or their electricity and making sure that they're being very conscientious about the electricity that they're using, we're going to be relying on that. Trust me, solar panels are very good for off-grid applications. They're very bad to rely on for power for the long run. That's actually why this winter I had to install an engine charger in my van, because in the dead of winter, I don't get enough sun from the solar panels. You got to start the engine from time to time. But anyway, if you are running a big business, you are now going to have to start proposing, basically telling them how many greenhouse gas emissions you have and how green you are, what percentage of your energy is green, blah, 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 blah. Because if you don't, how dare you? And moving on. There is now a Linux distro made for the Apple M1 systems, if any of you guys out there. Now, this is the first Linux distro made for Apple M1. I could be wrong. I thought Ubuntu had a build for Apple M1. If I'm wrong about that, please let me know in the comments, but I remember that coming out not too long after the M1 chip was released. But anyway, this group claims to have the first public alpha of Ashai Linux. Is it Asahai? Ashai? Asahai. I'm going with Asahai. I don't know. I haven't a clue. Asahai Linux, a distro made for the Apple M1 SoC and its derivatives. It's been eagerly anticipated by Linux users who want to take advantage of Apple's newest silicon. So if you are having one such computer, you can find the information about this, presumably download the alpha and give it a test. Fun. Well, that annoying watermark, first it's like the watermark's coming, then Microsoft's like, I don't know, we're just considering this. Yeah, they pretty much said, yeah, you're getting it. If you do not have every single requirement we have, we are watermarking your PC, so every single time you boot up that computer, you know you need to get rid of this equipment, you pleb, and buy yourself some shiny new stuff. We want to fill up the landfills with e-waste, such that there was never e-waste before. Guys, if you have this, do not throw out your computer. I'm going to share with you a secret. I'm going to be just as creepy as Joe Biden. Oh, excuse me. Use Linux instead. I forgot which creepy Joe Biden I was going with, hair sniffing or whispering into the microphone. If you happen to have one of these computers that's saying unsupported hardware, just say, I'll just switch to Linux. It's supported. Okay? I mean, really. But yeah, they're going to start watermarking it. Now, they did say also in here that the watermark might show up if your system does meet the requirements, but certain features are turned off. So like those of us using Linux, sometimes we disable secure boot. If you have secure boot disabled, you will get the watermark. Even though secure boot is available, your system supports it, you will get the watermark if you simply disable secure boot. So those of us dual booting Windows and Linux on the same system, sorry, you're going to get annoyed. Also, if you turn off TPM, it requires Windows 11 requires TPM 2.0. If you turn that off, you will also get the watermark, even though it is something that is supported by your system. So the watermark is coming. Here's what it looks like. System requirements are not met. Go to settings to learn more. Where's the dismiss forever button? Don't give a crap. Thank you. Noted. Don't care. If true, don't care. So there does not appear to be a button. Instead, we get an annoying watermark. So guys, switch to Linux. Excuse me. I did do creepy Biden again. At least I'm not eating it like a chocolate chip ice cream. And on to our feature story. Apple is planning a new hardware subscription service for iPhone and iPad. Now, they actually already have a service like this. So some people are reading this are going, including myself, are going, I'm kind of confused. What's the difference from what you already have? So what you already have is you can purchase an Apple Care plan, which part of it includes every year upgrading your phone. So, you know, they can take your perfectly good working phone. They can run it through the shredder so nobody else can have that thing. And we can sell more stuff this way. And then every 12 months, you will get a new phone by paying them some ungodly amount of money. So that is what they already have, but now they're touting out this new plan that is going to basically allow you to not own it. I guess the difference is that in this plan, you technically don't even own it. You remember those days when you rented your phone from the carrier? It wasn't technically a rental, but you paid for it in the contract. You paid for the exact price of the phone over the 2 years of the phone. And at the very end, you're like, it's finally my phone. And they're like, hey, you want to upgrade? We'll give you a good price if you upgrade. And then you take your perfectly good phone and then you pay them again. And then we get to the point where, yeah, you can actually get phones pretty cheap. You could buy them in multiple different places. You could bring your phone to any other carrier. People are buying their phones. Some of them are even buying it with like cash and not going into debt up to their eyeballs for a stupid phone. And now Apple's like, you know what? We need to go back to this old model where we can just go ahead and keep on fleecing people because, hey, sheep, come get your phone, come get your phone. And so with this, you never actually own your phone. You're basically just leasing your phone, which makes sense because they cost about the same amount as a car. So why wouldn't you want to lease your phone too? But anyway, that is what Apple is up to. So you can help support the channel with our affiliates today. We are highlighting Linode, tlm.li/Linode. You can get $100 in credit, good for 60 days on any new Linode account. You can spin up as many Linodes as you want in that time. Rack up that $100 pretty quickly and get a good feel for what Linode can do for you. So sign up, tlm.li/Linode. Well, guys, let's go to SillyVille. So first up in SillyVille, as I mentioned in the security portion of the news this week, they were hacked because they had other really important things to do at Microsoft, and that is programming the gear icon in the Windows 11 Notepad app to spin. They could be QAing their systems. They could be securing them, hardening their systems down. They're spending developer hours making sure that you can spin the settings gear on Notepad. This is why I switched to Linux, folks. We have our priorities in line. Security first, spinning Notepad's icons second. Okay? So, yeah, look at that. You can spin that one too. Whoa, you can spin them all. You can spin them all. If you guys have Windows 11 and you just spun an icon, let me know in the comments down below. Well, a third-party security group patches the Windows vulnerabilities because Microsoft is too busy making the gears spin. Yeah, so Microsoft, this is I think the second time they patch something. So there's a vulnerability. Microsoft knows about it. It's 0 day. Lots of people are coming up with it. And so this third-party zero patch is released a second fix for local privilege escalation vulnerability after Microsoft's latest attempt at mitigation broke the group's first patch. Here, the working patch. Let's break it by importing the code for spinning icons. What Microsoft doesn't really know is that really the spinning icon code is the back door. So every time they get it's perfect. Bob, add the spinning gear icon. The spinning gear icon, though, is what's causing the escalation. I'm telling you guys. I'm telling you. Okay, that's really what's going on. So Microsoft has realized that, these guys, just like enabling a spouse enabling their drunken husband or whatever else, right? They're coming in. They're too busy playing with the gears again. Let's patch another 0 day. And so we're going to keep on getting them. Maybe Microsoft will just hire these guys as contractors to replace the QA team. Wow. Well, Facebook has locked users out of Facebook for failing to enable Facebook Protect. Good. Don't go back, guys. So what happened here is that Meta is making changes about requiring Facebook Protect, which is basically their two-factor authentication, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And they're forcing it on, like, anybody can activate it, but they're actually forcing it on higher profile people, like maybe they're forcing it on people like journalists and things like that. And as they are doing that, they sent out an email that looked like spam to everybody, basically saying, hey, you need to enable this kind of stuff. And basically what happened is the people all ignored it because they were good heads of state and good journalists, and they can recognize a spam message when they see one. And then Facebook locked them all out because they didn't respond to their emails that looked like a spam. So yeah, maybe these people will just wisen up and stop using Facebook altogether. But if you were locked out of it, I don't know, you'll probably just have to give over like your DNA and your ID and something like that. Fingerprint, DNA, ID, hand them all to Facebook. They'll let you back into the account. I mean, after they verified it all, of course. And on to our last story. There apparently iOS 15.4 caused a lot of battery drains, and Apple responds by saying, just wait. I mean, come on, guys. You're using your battery wrong. Okay, according to support, it takes 2 days for apps and features to adjust their updates. So they're updating, that's taking it to adjust. In the meantime, it's just eating your battery. These people are reportedly having to charge their phones after only a few hours of use. And so Apple's like, hey, just wait. You're using it wrong, guys. You're using your battery wrong. Just give it some time. It'll readjust. And apparently, iOS 15.4 battery drain is absolutely ridiculous. Why can't Apple support ever get a release out in time? 5% in less than 10 minutes. Uncommon for updates have a few bugs on releases, and battery life is a constant struggle with any smartphone, but Apple's response to these recent complaints is somewhat baffling. In a tweet addressing one user's gripe, Apple said, it's normal for your apps and features to need to adjust up to 48 hours after the update. Is it? If so, then it's the first we've ever heard of this, and nothing like it is ever listed on Apple's support website. Furthermore, iOS 15.4 rolled out on March 14th, which, while the news of the complaints broke only earlier in this week, surely some reporting on the issue had been running the update for longer than 48 hours. Apple's public response just doesn't hold up. Thanks for reaching out. We're happy to help. It's normal for apps to stop working. Let's have you reach out to a DM, yeah, so we can lie to you some more, I guess. So they can check the health of their batteries, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, it's just an excuse. Guys, you're using your batteries wrong. Stop using your batteries wrong. And the other thing you should do is support over on Patreon. We're over on Patreon, patreon.com/TOMM. That will help support all of my different channels. You can head on over there. So thanks for watching, everybody, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.
Thank you for watching this video from Switched to Linux. This channel would not be possible without the backing of the program supporters scrolling on the screen now. You can be a supporter at Patreon at patreon.com/TOMM or at thinklifemedia.com. I also want to thank the open source community who creates such excellent software that makes producing this show possible. Please remember to support your software communities. Thank you, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.